Hi, everyone. This is Heather Lawton in from the Flourish.Academy. I'm joined by my good friend and co-host, Mara Chick. Hey, Mara.
Hello.
What are we working on today?
Okay, we are continuing our discussion on You Are a Awesome Person by Jen Sincero. Did I say that? Sincero?
Yeah, that's how I say it anyway.
And okay, we're going to pick up right in part 3, how to tap into the mother load.
All right, chapter 10 is Meditation 101, which we've talked about in the past, but on page 87, she gives us some points that meditation helps with. And I just want to share these, so if you're thinking about starting a meditation practice, these are some of the benefits. It brings us into the present moment. And by the way, that's not just during meditation, but you learn to adapt that. It raises our frequency, opens us up to receive unlimited information and ideas and money. By the way, I added that.
You added that part.
It relaxes us, relieves stress, strengthens our intuition and ability to focus, allows us to hear our inner voice more clearly, fills us with light and love, puts us in a good mood, helps us love ourselves. Have you experienced this with your meditation? Would you say this is accurate?
Yeah, I think this is an accurate list. Raises our frequency, absolutely. Relaxes you and relieves stress. Heck yeah, I could just be in the middle of like an anxiety attack and just
sit with yourself.
And it goes away. So there's a lot of benefits to meditation, and I really like the stress relief is part for me. That's the most important, I think. 'Cause
I've started feeling really happier. And with more joy and more relaxed, I'm able to lighten up more and be present. I am not even kidding you or exaggerating when I tell you in the past couple of months, it has absolutely altered my life. It has changed. And I don't know if the people around me have noticed. I think they have, but internally, I feel a million times better. And let me be clear, I felt pretty awesome to begin with. So now it's really next level. It really does like raise your frequency.
It's awesome. Congratulations, Heather.
Thank you. But it took me a while to,
geez, I've been trying to tell you about meditation for a while.
Okay, moving on to chapter 11, which is entitled Your Brain is Your Witch with a B. She says, to think what you want to think is to think the truth regardless of appearances, meaning whatever you think is true. Because, on page 94, your thoughts and beliefs dictate your reality. So if you want to change your reality, you have to change your beliefs. The problem is that most people are real protective of their beliefs and are usually fairly crotchety should you suggest that perhaps there's another version of the truth. I'm bad at sales. I have terrible luck. I'm scared of flying. Marriages don't last. I have ugly feet. I'm broke. People tend to say these things, and they are 100% self-fulfilling prophecies. If you think that you have terrible luck,
you're going to have terrible luck.
You will have terrible luck. She says, the following is hugely important, so please pay very close attention. You have to change your thinking first, and then the evidence appears. Our big mistake is that we do it the other way around. We demand to see the evidence before we believe it to be true. So we could use that luck example. If you think that you're unlucky and you're always unlucky, yeah, you're always going to be unlucky, but start saying you have great luck. You're very lucky. Things just happen for you. They just work for you. And you have to believe it. And then the evidence will appear. I know this because I am living proof. I tell people all the time, I can't explain it. I'm so lucky. Things just work out for me. And I truly believe that at my core. So they do just continue to work out. So why would you not do that?
Yeah.
Are you really happy with the alternative, just continuing to say that Murphy's Law always applies to you and that you're always unlucky and this is just the way things go in your life and it figures and all that? That's so self-defeating. I don't understand it.
Well, it's like faith. They say faith is a belief in something that you can't see. And, you have to be able to believe in yourself. You can't see it yet, but if you just kind of start to have faith in yourself, then the proof comes to you later. So get on it, people.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to page 97. She has several things to help show your brain who is driving the bus. So number 1 is ask and it is given. Number 2 is act as if, which is a concept I've read in many books. Act as if you already are in the position. We talked about that in the previous episode.
Yeah, and then dress the
part.
for the job you want. Yep.
And number 3 is upgrade your environment, which I love. If you aspire to have a more up-leveled and inspiring lifestyle than you presently have, and you're actively visualizing this for yourself, it's going to be quite a struggle to keep your thoughts large and in charge if every time you pull up to your rickety ASS home, you hear the Sanford and Son theme song start up in your head. So even though you're going to be thinking and imagining the change before it happens, do what you can to make some upgrades to where you're at now. So clean up your home, paint some things, take care of your environment. Your environment, next to your words that you choose, I think is one of the most critical pieces. So you know that I'm insane about my environment. Now, it's not that every portion of my house is perfect, because we are sitting in a studio right now that is less than perfect or ideal if you look around. But where the cameras are facing.
Let's clarify. What you think is less than perfect and is like unorganized, I look at it like, oh man, she's got it going on here. All the pillows are there.
Hilarious.
Like, because I struggle with this with my husband a lot.
Yes.
Like I am very like, okay, let's make this organized, because physical clutter leads to mental clutter. And my husband is a little bit of a pack rat. Just a smidge.
A hoarder, maybe potentially.
Some hoarding tendencies.
Yeah.
So there is always stuff everywhere. And so, I have a studio out of my home. So it's like I can't just like leave stuff laying around. So it's basically jammed into like his 2 rooms, and he will not he won't clean. He just won't clean and organize. So I control my spaces. So my office, I try to keep super clean. If I feel like, hey, I need to refresh my environment, put some flowers in there.
Oh, good idea.
A new vase, something, buy yourself a new mug, like just something that's going to spruce up the area. It doesn't have to be this whole like, let's paint and go balls to the walls.
Yes.
You're just little things, a new lamp, like
a candle.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it really just kind of inspires you to like love your space.
Love your space, love yourself, the environment. I am super big on the environment. And if you struggle with this, go home and just clean a junk drawer. I say to people, just pull out one drawer, clean it, and you'll actually feel better by doing that one right thing. And then you'll pick something else up and organize something else. Easy to do, easy not to do. So why not just do it?
Do it. Okay, Jen continues to talk about these things. Number 4 is make a vision board. And we do this all the time in like the self-love arena, and even businesses have like vision boards or marketing boards, things like that just inspire your mind. Go cut stuff out of a magazine, put words on a canvas. I've been drawing on canvases and then painting over it and all that stuff. It's lovely. And then number 5 is surround yourself with people who think the way you want to think. Okay, I'm going to read this. Make a conscious choice to do this. And if you don't know anyone who's got a big fat mind, go out and make some new friends, because there are other people like you out there. Okay, if you go, there's a website I love. This is actually how I met my husband, meetup.com, which is like, local groups that you can find. Like I joined a hiking group, and that's where I met my husband. There's like mastermind groups that you can find, women's groups, book clubs, and Meetup has all these different like clubs and groups that you can join, and you can go meet like-minded people. If you don't know where to go to meetup.com.
That's a good plug for them.
My advice.
Yeah.
Oh, they should pay us money.
Is that a free service, paid service?
Yes, it's free to join. Some of the groups have like fees to join their group, but like it's free to join Meetup to see what's going on.
Well, then that's a no-brainer. You might as well check it out. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you meet my husband, he's mine. No one would want him. No.
Does he still go to the hiking club?
No.
Okay.
So you don't even have to worry about it. Okay. We're going to move into chapter 13, and it says give and let give. And I'm going to pick up on page 111. And Jen says, if you want to attract good things and feelings into your life, send awesomeness out to everyone around you. And she gives some examples here. Give one of your favorite things in the world away to someone who would totally love it. And if you can, do it without them knowing where it came from. Leave $1 more than you normally would every time you tip, or 10. If someone is being snarky, instead of sinking to their level, and being snarky back, raise them up by giving them love. I think that's very important to send awesomeness out. I do this frequently in my life, daily, is like I will tip, and Tony will say, why are you tipping that much? I'm like, because. Like, just do.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
I mean, make someone's day by that. Just, it's the little things that matter.
My husband taught me to do that. He's always been extremely generous when it comes to tipping. And so we always put in really big amounts. But recently my kids and I were having lunch and we paid for the meal of a veteran sitting next to us. He had on a hat that said Vietnam veteran, and I am obsessed with the Vietnam War. I study it. I don't know why. I love military stories. I think there's good lessons in leadership. So I went up to the server and I said, we'd like to pay for their lunch, but I really do not want them to know that it came from us. So he said, no problem. We got the bill. We paid for it. And he went over and told them that somebody had picked up their tab, and they're looking all around trying to figure, and we're literally sitting right next to them. And we were so close that they looked beyond us, and it was fantastic. And my kids loved it. And I said, well, wasn't that great just to do something? Bob Goff says, be secretly awesome.
And I just, sometimes I don't like recognition for that stuff either. And out here, I'm going to toot my own
horn.
Right.
Right.
But
yeah,
I was at the chiropractor's a couple months ago, and there was a little old lady there at the counter, and she and the doctor was like, well, I need you to come back 3 times a week. And she's like, okay, how much is it every time I come? And she said, $40. She goes, oh, $120 a week. Oh, that's going to be a little hard for me. And it just broke my heart to see like this little old lady who's having trouble walking. She clearly needs this help, and she's worried about $120 a week. And so she left, and I said to the doctor, can you charge me for her appointments next week and call her and tell her to come in 3 times? And she goes, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah.
$120.
It's $120.
Right.
And I said, please don't tell her. I mean, I was the only one in the office, so if she was paying any attention, she would have known. But then the doctor ended up telling her, and she wrote me this thank you card.
Oh, that was nice.
And gave me a hug the next time she saw me. But I would have preferred it to be, because I don't do those things to get the recognition. I do it because
it's fun.
It's fun, and it's sweet to help other people out, and especially someone who you see like really needs help. Like, so just do it because out of the goodness of your heart.
Right. Secretly
It'll all
awesome.
come back to you.
It does. Yeah.
Okay. Chapter 14. Wait. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Gratitude. The gateway drug to awesomeness. Okay. And she begins here on page 113 with a quote from Tony Robbins. When you are grateful, fear disappears and abundance appears. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, gratitude is a very, very important practice. Mm-hmm. We talked about keeping a gratitude journal. And on page 117, she says, when you are consistently in a state of gratitude and aware of all the awesomeness that already exists, it, among many other things, makes it much easier for you to believe that there's more awesomeness where that came from. And that this yet to be manifested awesomeness is also available to you. You've received awesomeness before, so of course you will receive it again. Just be grateful for what you have. So I was thinking about this morning, and I thought, as long as I am breathing and I have all of my limbs, more is going right than is going wrong. Yes. So when you start to feel overwhelmed with life and the demands and the chaos, and you feel like everything is going wrong, stop and ask yourself, am I breathing? Do I have all of my limbs and all or most of my organs? I say that because I don't have a gallbladder. But if I have all or most of my organs and my limbs and I'm breathing, then you have to say to yourself, more is going right than is going wrong. So just be grateful for that and focus on that, because then that's what you'll start to feel.
Yes. Preach it, Heather.
Yeah, I love that.
Parking spaces. Ready?
Okay, there's a story on parking spaces I love on 118. She says, I always approach the hunt for a parking space with the same attitude, a knowing and a relaxed certainty that it's a done deal. The perfect spot is mine. It already exists, and I'm genuinely so happy and grateful for it. I really, truly believe this. Then, as always, someone pulls out and I go in. Yeah, as consistently as this happens, I'm still always so excited when it does, and I never take it for granted. Okay, the reason I'm sharing this story is because my friend Nicole has adopted this, and it works for her, and it is hilarious. So we were in Southern California in San Diego a couple of months ago, and we were headed to the beach area to have dinner, and it's a very busy area. Obviously, there's never anywhere to park. But there's this one parking lot right next to the restaurant. And of course, it's full. All of the street parking is full. I mean, people are walking for blocks and blocks and blocks. And she is coming down the street driving. And she said, it doesn't matter. The perfect spot always opens up for me at exactly the perfect time. And there was so much traffic. And there's so many people looking for spots. There's like no way, right? She turns the corner. And as she does that, someone is backing out of the very first spot in the parking lot that is right next to the restaurant we're eating. And she said, I told you. And it was hilarious. And so if that can happen with something so simple, then why not? Why couldn't that happen with bigger things or things that are more impactful or meaningful? I thought that was a great story. So when I read it in the book, I thought, oh my gosh, Nicole could have written that because that's awesome.
Listen, you can manifest anything. There's that book, Manifesting Made Easy.
Yes.
I love that book.
Love it too.
And that's frou-frou out there. So if you're not quite ready for that, don't read that book yet. But I had a client just the other day come over and we were reviewing her photos and she's telling me about some struggles she was having and she's ready to sell her house. And she said, I'm going to list that house. I'm going to sell it within a week and I'm going to get 3 offers above asking price. And I said, how do you know that? I thought maybe she had, offers already or people interested. And she goes, well, it's going to happen because I say it's going to happen.
Right on.
And I looked at her and I said, you're turning me on.
Wow. And I bet it does happen.
I'm like, and it will happen. And I said, I love that. Keep saying it. Say it 5-10 times a day, girl, and you will make it happen.
Oh, that's
and
fantastic.
I can't wait to hear what happens for her. And I'll let you know. I'll update you.
Yeah, right. Okay, back to the book on page 119. She has this section called This is Good Because. And she says, whenever anything excellent or mediocre or lame or annoying happens to you, meet it with the statement, this is good because ... and fill in the blank. Once you make this a regular practice, you'll see how much easier it is to be in gratitude for much more than you realized. So you're opening yourself up for the lesson, whatever the lesson is and everything that happens. So if it's something good, obviously, that's easy. You can say, this is good because it was fun, or because I grew my business, or I made more money, or whatever. But when something difficult happens, or challenging, or annoying, just something annoying, you have to be able to say, this is good because, and then fill in the blank, because there's always a lesson there. And I've started to adopt this. If something is annoying, maybe you're running late and the traffic is backed up, and you say, well, this is good because it gives me more time to talk to my children in the car, and we're not like rushed to get somewhere, even though we are, but we're sitting in there's a reason. Or maybe there was an accident up ahead that you could have been in that you weren't in because you were a couple minutes late. I mean, there's always something good that you can find from anything, even if it is annoying.
When I get worked up about something or upset, like something's irritating me, I always say, what do you want? Like, what do you want from this reaction, from this situation? Like, what do you want? So that it decreases the intensity. Like, if I can name what I want or what's really bothering me, like, I can then just get it out in the open and deal with it and move on. So it's when I get worked up, I'm like, what do you want, Mara? Like, what's the purpose?
That's a good question. Tony Robbins says that too. He says, what's the desired outcome? If you have that in mind, then it can help you look at the storm and recognize that weather in a storm, like emotions, always pass. So
yes.
Emotions are like the weather. It won't be very good for very long or very bad for very long. So if you're in a torrential downpour, it won't last for very long. Emotions will pass. So if your desired outcome is just to feel crappy in the moment because you feel like you deserve to feel crap, well, go ahead. Have your 2.3 seconds and then move on.
Yes. Okay, we're going to move to chapter 15, Forgive or Fester. And on page 124, she's again giving us, in each chapter, she kind of gives you kind of tricks and lists of things you can do to kind of help yourself along your self-growth journey. But on 124, she's talking about finding compassion. She said, find compassion for yourself or someone else who did something so awful is like pulling a bullet out of your arm. You may kick and scream and hate it at first, but in the long run, it's the only way to start the real healing. You hear about this all the time with like families of loved ones who were killed or something happened to them, and then the family's like, yeah, I forgive that person for doing that.
Right.
I mean, I can't even imagine that level of forgiveness. So if they can forgive someone like that, I can forgive my husband for not cleaning the dishes.
Seriously.
I mean, seriously.
Seriously.
I mean, and that's not, I mean, it's so simple, but she's talking about bigger things. But see, like, this kind of stuff happens, like, and you can have compassion for people, and it helps to be a little more kind and understanding of what other people are going through. I have times where people will like no show for their viewings for their photos, and old Mara would have been like, what the hell? Come on, my time is worthy. Come on, you can't be wasting it. And now Mara's like, oh my gosh, I hope everything is okay. I wonder what happened. And when I contact them to talk, I'm like, are you okay? I just want to make sure everything's all right. Something might have happened that you don't know about. Like, and I think even, since my mother died, like, that might be happening to somebody else.
Right.
And why is it my place to, like, put my anger on someone else when they could be dealing with something super traumatic? And then at that point, nothing else matters.
Correct.
So I think about it in those terms now. Like, did their mother die?
Oh,
and if they did, I'm going to be
right.
much more compassionate towards them.
Right. How would you feel if you found out? Yeah. Right. So it's better to just be kind and assume that that they're not doing it because they're out to get you or inconvenience you, that something could have happened.
Yeah.
I completed a whole course on compassion in 10% Happier, where they talk about that, about believing the best in people and showing compassion for humanity as a whole and yourself.
And this is one of the things we're working on next year in my self-love club. I'm doing a self-compassion overnight retreat, and then we're doing 6 months of like self-compassion, because I know it's a big issue. We have a hard time forgiving ourselves, being kind to ourselves, like all the negative talk that you guys say to yourselves, it is no good. And if you haven't picked that up from this podcast by now, you haven't been paying attention.
We strongly believe in that.
Compassion is a really big topic for me, and I love it. So,
and wrapping up this chapter on page 128, she says, release all expectations. Let everyone off the hook. Treat people as a blank slate over and over again. Expect only the best from them, regardless of what they've done in the past, and you may be surprised. What you focus on, you create more of. And if you keep expecting people to annoy you, they will not let you down. Focus on their finer points and encourage their good behavior if you want to create more of it.
Just let it go.
Let it go.
Like Elsa would say, let it go, let it go. No, I'm not a singer. No, I'm not the best singer. And my grandmother was like the choir director and had the most beautiful voice. And then here comes one of her grandchildren, let it go. No. So what's our strategy? So our strategy for this week is to start a daily meditation practice, whether it's the morning, the evening, the afternoon, at lunchtime, whenever you can carve out even just a few minutes to start doing it. And it really helps to start small. Don't start with like, I'm going to meditate for 10 minutes. No, you aren't.
1 minute. Literally 1 minute.
Literally 1 minute. If you can sit there in the quiet, just focusing on your breath for 1 minute, like just try 1 minute. Yeah. Okay. And you'll be able to easily like, expound on that. Now, there are apps. Heather uses 10% Happier.
I do, and I love it.
There's one that I use that's called Calm. So there's a bunch of meditation apps out there for you guys to use to help you with this strategy.
And let us know how it goes. And by the way, you have to make it a habit and keep with it. You might not see this miraculous difference in a few days, but over time, I promise you, you will.
What does Charles Duhigg say in The Power of Habit? Is it like 21 days or 28 days before it becomes...
Yeah, he does. But other books have said 66.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
conflicting info. Yeah. Maybe we should do our own research on that.
Well, we should. God. I think there's probably a span.
Somewhere
it's probably somewhere in the middle. Right.
All right, Heather, as we wrap up today's episode, tell us, what's your deepest, darkest secret? No, no, just kidding.
That's hilarious. I don't even know what that would be. I'm pretty much an open book.
No, I just didn't want to ask you. All right, how can everyone support the podcast?
Well, they can absolutely share, subscribe, share with their friends on all of the social media.
Share enough?
Yeah, share. Make sure you subscribe, leave a review. That helps. If you'd like to watch us on video, you can check us out at Flourish.Academy. And make sure you use the link to shop for your books on Amazon. Our affiliate link helps to offset the cost of the podcast. It's really helpful, you guys. I mean, if you are enjoying the free content, it really behooves you to support us. Otherwise, we can't do it.
We need money for books. I have like $150 sitting in my cart. So, all right, everyone, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time on the Flourish Academy podcast.